Pisces, welcome to your November 2020 love reading for singles. It's Raina here, and I'm acting like I do this every month. I used to do love readings every month. I haven't done it, I can't remember how long it's been, probably a couple months. But it's fun to revisit it from now and again. So here I go. And this is a slightly different spread. I will explain the positions when I get to them. Oh my goodness, 3 cards jumped out. Okay, well, I'm going to choose all 3 cards. I'm going to take a little sign from the universe. Okay, I'm going to pick an additional card for the outcome card. I did get the 3 of Swords. I want to see what that means. 3 of Swords. There are certain cards. It's not simply just about positivity and negativity with the cards, but also, like, is there a resolution? Does it start to make you wonder more things? Even getting the two of Pentacles, that almost suggests more questions, but I can't keep picking cards. Okay, so the heart of the matter is in this particular reading, I call it what is going on with your love life. So we have the 5 of Cups, and in this particular deck, which is the Light Seers Tarot deck, the 5 of Cups is a little bit more hopeful. There's that marina blue, the green blue in the background, and the vortex, and it looks like the moon inside of it. The 5 of Cups is a card of mourning the loss of something, but it has, you can see the look on her face that she might be, kind of like reflecting on a past relationship, and so on and so forth. And then that kind of a hole, or like a indentation there. And so, because this is a singles reading, what I interpret that to mean is that even if you're single and you claim that you want love, you might have some healing to do that relates to the loss of somebody, the disappointment, whether this is through death, through a feeling of being rejected. The 3 of Swords is that same kind of vibe, but in its own way. Just the disappointment of maybe a relationship ending, but you're trying to meet somebody new. So how does that work? Well, not very well until you get a handle on your emotions. And being a water sign, I'm doing all the water signs first. And this is just one of those things where it's like, if you're looking for a new love, you have to be truly open to it. And there might be this bit of hesitation in your vibration because you don't want to be hurt again. And where you've come from that may be creating or exacerbating the situation is the 7 of Pentacles. And this is a card of growth. Investing energy in something and seeing it grow. Now, there's a possibility that this didn't happen with you. Now, before I even go any further, perhaps this was a relationship that you had with an earth sign, which is Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Virgo is your opposite sign, but a relationship that didn't work out for some reason. However, this could also relate to perhaps some kind of situation where you didn't give something enough time, you bailed, and then you regretted it, because and I'm not saying that this is what happened, but sometimes what the Seven of Pentacles is all about is patience, where you kind of like take things very slowly. You invest your energy into something, but you don't expect it to just take off. Pisces is an interesting water sign because you are a mutable sign, which means that you are changeable. Now, water can conform to its environment or its container. And so that means that there's a malleable quality with water. When you add being a water sign to being a mutable sign, you can see that Pisces can morph into something else, can change. And on top of that, your ruler is Neptune, which creates sometimes illusion, even unto yourself, where you do things that you think are in your highest interests or what have you, but really turn out to be otherwise. And you say, why did this happen? But you were not necessarily honoring certain things. And it is what it, it was what it was. But the bottom line is that there's some kind of situation with either an earth sign that maybe it was building, or perhaps you kept investing in a relationship that never amounted to much. That's always a possibility too. And the Seven of Pentacles can be kind of a cautionary situation where the person has to be careful that they are not investing in something that is like a fruitless endeavor. So maybe you have some kind of disappointment which has left you feeling a little bit jaded. The higher message is the Ace of Cups, which is about, well, this isn't supposed to, I'm sorry, I'm doing this on the fly and you're only the third sign that I'm doing. This is actually the lesson to be learned, which is kind of like the higher message, I guess. And this is that you have to be open to new love in your life. And you have to kind of like shake off the dust and be willing to kind of go into that new kind of scenario or new phase in your life when it comes to your relationships. And if you have when I was talking about kind of that, I don't know if I call it fickle nature, maybe impatient nature, because you're right next to Aries. Some of you may have Venus in Aries, even though your sun is in Pisces. And that can make you very impetuous in love, very impatient for things to develop. And when people are impatient, when they're rash, they can oftentimes do things without thinking. Also, Mars could be in Aries as well. And that is how you act. And that could definitely impact the choices that you make. So it's really a combination of being able to give something time. If your Venus, especially if your Venus is in Aries, you could definitely be the kind of person who is just like, hey, I want to make something happen in this. You just meet somebody and you just want to get married or move in together or just cut to the chase. There's an impatience. And it can lead to fickleness or going from one relationship to the other if you're easily bored, and that tends to happen with Venus and Aries, is that the relationship tends to get, what we would call run-of-the-mill in your eyes, even though it's really not, and then you bail. So this could be your making, and you're still upset about it because You may feel like, why did I do this? Mercury retrograde is still in play at the beginning of the month. And even when it's goes direct on November 3rd, it will still be in its shadow for a couple of weeks at least. And that means that there could still be people from your past kind of coming, calling you, what have you. And maybe this is a person that you kind of, decided wasn't the right person for you, but then you regretted it afterwards. So 3 cards jumped out at me, and I felt like, hey, I better acknowledge all of them. What is coming in? We have the High Priestess. You are the High Priestess in a lot of ways. This is about tuning into your higher self. So looking at it from a more spiritual perspective of, if you have to make a choice, and actually, come to think of it, since I picked that 2 of Pentacles as the clarification card, that would be some kind of choice that needs to be made. 7 of Wands, interesting, more positive version. Usually you see somebody who is in a defensive posture. And this is a card of standing up for yourself, standing your ground. And Page of Wands, another fire energy. And this is an exciting new beginning, a sense of passion with this type of situation. This could possibly be with a fire sign like Aries. And this gives you a sense of rebirth, I would say, because it's in it could be like through a message, actually. And of course, with Mercury activated in the retrograde and then direct, that certainly is a theme in November as the personal planets go direct. And then as the outcome cards, we have let me pick this one. This was the first one I picked. Real cheery, huh? 3 of Swords, which is a card of feeling rejected. But sometimes the 3 of Swords can mean that you cut something off just definitively. So if the 5 of Cups is that you are single, but there's always somebody who keeps coming back into your life, then what I would say is that the Ace of Cups is saying that if you really want to allow new love to come into your life, you have to make space for it. And if you are on again, off again with somebody, you can't do that. And sometimes people don't understand, exactly how important that is that, they're focused so much on, oh my gosh, what if, we get back together? But that might not be a good thing, especially if the other person is the one that keeps breaking it off. If you break it off and you make up your mind that you really want to do that, you won't feel that sense of being jerked around because you are taking the initiative. And there may be somebody else that is represented by the Page of Wands who, lights up your life, lights your fire. And this other person may be a drag. It might be kind of a negative influence. And then we have the 2 of Pentacles, which can be like, here we have this duality, this choice that might have to be made. Pentacles. So that was I had as the past position 7 of Pentacles. Maybe this is an earth sign versus a fire sign. For some of you, the fire sign is going to be more compatible than the earth sign. Typically, earth and water are more compatible than fire and water. However, each Pisces person has their own makeup, astrological makeup, and you may have a lot of Aries and a lot of fiery energy that is more conducive to somebody who is a fire sign than somebody who's an earth sign. Pisces is kind of like a contradiction sometimes. I think some of you are seen in one light, and I don't see it that way. I see that you have many facets to you. And one of them is that you really love, that I think that a lot of Pisces people are very passionate in life, even though I try not to call water signs passionate, because I think of emotional and passionate as different things. Emotional is more personal to the individual, but I feel with Pisces, maybe it is because you're by Aries, and Aries is such a feisty sign, but I feel like because you're ruled by Neptune, you're very idealistic, and so I feel like you, out of all the fire sign, or out of all the water signs, get along with fire signs. I'm just saying this off the top of my head. I don't even know if that would work. But I think Pisces also is probably the most cooperative out of all the water signs, where you are willing, maybe because you're a mutable sign, where you're willing to adapt to another person in enough of a way where the relationship can work. So if there's somebody in your life who is very practical, but not very like romantic, and maybe even has caused you pain in some way, that person, you have to acknowledge that. If the Five of Cups is being in a relationship with such a person, then this Page of Wands is a breath of fresh air. So this may be a situation where somebody from the past is coming back into your life too, and it's not, and you've or an on again off again situation, and you're meeting somebody. I think the Page of Wands is a new person that you're meeting, so that would be really cool. I hope that happens for you if that's what you want. So anyway, Pisces, that's what I have for you. If you're single and looking for a new way to perceive the idea of finding your soulmate, I have an ebook called Manifest Your Soulmate, which is based on the law of attraction. And I also offer personal readings, love readings, that are astrology based, and they also use the tarot in a secondary way. And you can find out more about these and other types of services I offer at the link below. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.